Hello, my name is Valerie Myers, and this is a weather recap and weather outlook for the 2013 fire season here in Arizona. Over the last few weeks, the jet stream has continued to bring a series of low-pressure systems into the western U.S. Composite satellite loops show that the overall effect has kept areas of high pressure from setting up over Arizona. The persistent pattern brought periods of clouds and a few degrees of cooling at times to the warmer above normal temperatures that were observed in March and into the first week of April. These low pressure systems will continue to offer little in the way of precipitation to the central and southwest Arizona deserts, and each will bring breezy to windy conditions at times across the region. How does this current warmer and drier spring pattern compare to what happened over the winter months? Temperatures during the winter months were much below normal across the southwestern United States and were actually much colder than what was observed from the previous winter of 2011-2012. The precipitation pattern has also been on a roller coaster ride over the past couple years. These graphics indicate that many portions of the western U.S. saw below normal to much below normal precipitation amounts during the winter of 2011-2012, with New Mexico and Texas coming in on the opposite end of the spectrum with above to much above normal precipitation rankings. Our winter months from December 2012 through February 2013 for Arizona were somewhat wetter or trending to normal in many areas. Graphics in the Colorado River Basin Forecast Center also allude to the drier March conditions that have been in place over the past 2 years. Seasonal precipitation is displayed by water year in these graphics, which goes from October to September. The graphic on the right suggests that our winter was slightly wetter than the previous year, but that eastern and southeastern Arizona have trended drier this year. Monthly precipitation graphics, breaking it down by month for the first half of the current water year, where October 2012 is in the top left and March 2013 is in the bottom right, you can actually see that December and January were the wettest months for most of Arizona, and that February and March have trended much drier. Basin average precipitation also shows the precipitation deficit across the rim country of Arizona and extending into New Mexico. The graphic that you see was generated on March 13th and shows that the Arizona sites reported around 100% of average for the first half of the water year at that time. By comparison, the graphic generated a couple weeks later shows that the percent of average rapidly trended down due to the record warmth that we had in March that was experienced across many portions of the state. A similar graphic shows some higher values in percent of average of snow water content along the Mogollon Rim of Arizona, mainly due to an early March storm, but the next graphic reflects the record warm temperatures that occurred during mid-March and melted the snowpack, yielding much lower values across eastern Arizona and most of New Mexico. Taking a peek at the drought monitor, moderate to extreme drought persists across Arizona and New Mexico. The winter precipitation patterns have served to lessen short-term drought conditions to some degree across the western states. But as the U.S. seasonal drought outlook suggests, as we transition into a warmer and drier spring and early summer, drought will persist and is expected to further develop in other areas across the region. We have briefly discussed temperature and precipitation trends and the persistence of drought conditions. But what about the current ENSO outlook, or El Niño Southern Oscillation? As we went through the winter months, a weak El Niño was forecast to develop and influence our long-term weather pattern. However, sea surface temperatures that are monitored actually shifted to near average across the equatorial Pacific. As such, we are currently in an ENSO neutral state, favoring neither an El Niño or La Niña pattern, and this pattern is expected to continue through the summer and into the fall. The probability is greater for above normal temperatures to occur through June, and it is a 50-50 coin toss for equal chances of precipitation in the same time period. The ENSO neutral state will also influence the jet stream track across the continental U.S. to some degree, and this will have an impact on the spring and early summer weather patterns. Scenario 1, if we're looking at the graphic in the top left, if the storm track remains more progressive through the northern tier of the U.S., drier and warmer conditions, in addition to some increased wind episodes, will impact northern Arizona. Scenario 2, on the bottom, if the jet stream continues to dip south, maybe as far south as Southern California, this pattern will favor cooler and more moist conditions, but will also bring increased winds, gusty and stronger at many times, to portions of the state. Summarizing all the factors of temperature, precipitation, drought, and long-term influences, the significant fire potential outlook for this season stands to be above normal across southeast Arizona and increasing to above normal across northern portions of the state between now and the first part of July. This potential is expected to quickly return to normal with the initiation of our monsoon and the increasing daytime humidity levels by mid-July. Thank you for your time in listening to this presentation. Questions can be directed to valerie.myers@noaa.gov.